Welcome everyone. 7 minutes late. Sorry for the delay. I was just setting everything up. And yes, losing an hour today definitely affected my timing. I got up and I was like, oh good, it's 8:30. No, it isn't. No, it most definitely is not. Hope everybody can hear me just fine. Thank you for all the likes so far. If you feel like hitting the like button, go ahead and hit it. We're building a Vanquish VS4-10 Pro. There's the box. Not an unboxing today. Who cares about unboxings? But you're going to see everything that's in the box. So that's something. Why don't you guys let me know that you're hearing me fine. Sounding like Jeff Gordon right now. I wonder why. Get a haircut and a real job. Man, yes, that's a great idea. I would love both of those things. Josh hasn't gotten the warranty card yet. But I'll probably send that his way. Okay. So let's cut over to, I hope everyone's actually having a great weekend. I do need a haircut badly. I'm not taking this hat off. That is for sure. Because you will see how horrific things have become here for me. New Mexico, UK. Good evening from Sweden. Hello, Sweden. So I'm sure most of you have built a VS4-10 or at least seen somebody build one before. I'm going to do the best I can to get the whole thing done today. Hopefully this space is going to be good. Maybe we'll move this a little bit more this way. And then that way, maybe we need to move it even more and then zoom in a tiny bit. Ooh. If I can just remember to build here. You don't know how close I am to actually having a mullet. That's for sure. So what we're going to do is first I am going to show you Scale Builders Guild logo on the box. Showing some love for Josh with that hat. Kind of, not really. So there's a few things. Happy New Year! Happy New Year from Dan. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Happy New Year from Dan. He always includes a nice little note. We're not going to be using the body today because I almost forgot. The more important cool stuff, we may actually zoom that out a little bit, I think. Go a little bit wider. There we go. The body that I'm using for this build is the WesMade LS Post, and of course I put the box on the table, idiot. 2 lives in 1 day, huh? Can I get the camera closer? Maybe use a microscope. Get microscopic on this stuff. Anyway, here is the body. And what a body it is. This is built by WesMade Builds. And Wes is a very active forum member. And he built this beautiful thing out of styrene. There's a lot of vacuum form styrene on it. And send it, eh? Because this is the LS Post. There is an LS Mail truck, which is the US Mail, USPS version. But this one's a little more Canada themed. And when Wes sent it to me, I mean, you've probably seen the video where I go through the whole body and kind of talk a lot about it. I had no idea it was going to come this finished. You know, like when Wes said, oh, I'm going to build you a body. I was like, cool, that's great. I can't wait to get it. And then, you know, do all the work finishing said body. But I didn't have to do anything. He did it all for me, which is really, really, really amazing. He says it's kind of built for the VS4-10. The biggest disadvantage is that I know I'm going to have to cut this chassis. which we're not going to do today. We're just going to build it first, and we're going to see how much work has to be done. I know for sure you're not going to be able to run a winch in the normal location. The servo for steering will also probably be moved. There's going to be a lot of changes, but we're going to try to focus on getting the actual chassis built, maybe even put some electronics in it. I don't know. I've got some. I have got a Tekin 440 crawler servo, so we'll be putting that in, but then we'll probably have to take it out again. So is installing a VS4-10 going to reduce the value of the body? No, just me owning it reduces the value instantly. So let's put this guy over here for now, and let's get to the actual construction. There will be some things we're not going to be using. Wheels and tires won't get used. Let's, you know what? That feels a little hot. Let's turn down the ISO a bit. Or not, maybe. Let's actually go a little, there we go. That's better. That's more like it. Now you can see stuff again. Okay. So we're not going to be using these wheels and tires. The VXT tires are, you know, by kit standard or RTR, like kit standard tires, they're not so bad. Hello, RC Patina guy. But they're not going to get used. They're just not part of it. Same thing with the body and the inner fenders. All that stuff gets not used. Great body, though. I really do like the VS4-10 Pro body. I don't like it as much as the Origin body. I thought the SUV body was way cooler. So that's just something we'll be keeping in the archive for a day when I feel like building it. Where's my instruction manual? Always good to get this out first and grab a look at it. Boy, I'm actually like really starting from the beginning. I didn't do any preparation at all for this stream. Great manual, really easy to follow. I know the guy who wrote it, and it wasn't Josh, so that means infinitely easier to read through. Great sticker sheet too. You may notice you get 4 SBG shields, which is pretty choice. They're 2 color, they're not 4, 3, 4, 5, 6 color, whatever. But they are nice. It's nice that they include those, and I'm honored to be a part of the packaging. It was an honor just to be nominated. Scott Oblander, thanks for the $4.99. Still saving my loonies and toonies for my first VS4-10. Definitely do it, man. These kits are the tits. They're my absolute favorite truck with which to build. So let's get started. Thank you for I'm not going to read the whole manual. Josh doesn't need a manual. He shouldn't need a manual. He's probably built 100 of these by now. While operating, do not run on a public street. Or does it say pubic street? This could cause serious accidents. So we're going to need some tools. One of which I left in the other room. But that's fine. We don't need that tool. There are some side cutters. I'm going to use my own grease, which is just a big old tube of white lithium grease. It works just fine. I won't be using a cross wrench because I've got all of the cool tools from Vanquish. So we're going to be using some of these, probably not the 8mm on this one, but it's good to have the full collection. What else are we going to need? When we get to those, we'll get to them. You'll need the whole standard and metric tool set. I mean, you can use your own, but I've got Vanquish ones. Beep boop, beep beep boop. Definitely need all of those, so we'll have those handy. We'll definitely need the Dewalt 8-volt max. I've never once used it in this position, ever. Is it required to build a Vanquish kit with Vanquish tools? No. In fact, I'm using Traxxas tips on the Dewalt. So suck on that, Vanquish. Got my coffee. This is not a standard Scale Builders Guild mug. This is a double-walled aluminum one. Stays hot forever. All right, let's do it. We're getting started. Bag A. A1, baby. This is a really fun kit. I have built four of the kit and then a couple of the chassis kits as well. Yeah, it's just a nice all-around kit. If you have any questions about any of the steps as I'm going through it, by all means, ask away. Happy to answer your questions. Hopefully Josh is watching so he can answer the more technical questions, because that's not my bag, baby. 6-hour live stream. Oh my god. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that we can get this one sort of to a usable state in about 3 hours or so. That's my hope. It's going to be challenging without any music. Does anybody remember? I think I did the Raw Builders kit from Axial, and I was like, let's listen to music while I build it. And the entire video got pulled because you're not supposed to have music playing, you ding dong. They demonetized the whole thing. Strikes galore. Alright, I guess we're going to need some axles as well. Where are all the parts? Oh, there they are. A1 and A2. I'm going to try to keep things clean. Not necessarily my language, but definitely my desktop here, because limited space. Alrighty. This diff cover. Where's the diff cover? Oh, there it is. Well, at this pace, A1 does make a good sauce. They also make a great parts bag. Although, lots of little tiny, like, vacuum seal style bags. Too many. A lot of trash. But I don't think there's, like, parts trees. No, there's no parts trees, so that is an added bonus for sure. Yeah, CL Audio. Heaven forbid music is playing and rich person does not get more money. That's true. All right. So, you use these open bearings on the first step here, and we're just putting them into the bearing carriers for the inside bits. There we go. It's going to be very technical. You're going to learn an awful lot today. It's going to be all the words that you expect, all the right words. Thread lock. You will need thread lock. Not included. So I'm going to use some MIP thread gel that I've got here. I don't have much in there, but won't need much, I don't think. And top tip, don't use a whole roll of paper towel. Cut it in half, and then you get these nice little squares. Because this is all you need. You don't need a ton of paper towel. Don't waste. Cheaper this way, too. You double the roll. Alright. There's one of those little pins stuck in there. My needle nose is out. Oh, stuck right in there. There we go. Drive pins. How do I fast forward to the finished product? I don't know, but when you figure that out, tell me, because I'm bored of this already. This only goes one way. So let's zoom in a little bit here now that we're tightening up on some little bits and pieces. These are the standard ring and pinions. A little bit of thread lock, and where's my first? There we go. Tiny, tiny screws. I'm going to thread lock each one of these. I'm bored already. Livestream will be over when the battery in his heated hoodie is dead. Well, the joke's on you. I'm not wearing it today, Toad Daddy. I didn't need it. It's windy, but it's not cold. Finally, I actually took out the Haas yesterday for the first time, and man, oh man, that thing is crazy. Matt, are you a tightwad? No. It's a Vanquish VS4-10 Pro. So no, I'm not necessarily cheap, but I do pay for value. You know, I recognize good value when I see it. And this product definitely is. Nobody paid me to say that. I believe in it. I've believed in it since day one, before anybody else even saw it. Brian Sherwood, thanks for the $5. What? Oh, these are the wrong. No, they're not. Are they? They are the wrong ones. Are they really? Are they supposed to be the black ones? All right. You're right. You're right. They look so much better, though. Center the camera a bit. Okay. There we go. How's that? Much better. Yes, Josh is right. These are the wrong ones. They're supposed to be the black ones. They looked better, though. So Josh can try that out next time. Consider that as an option, okay? Use the ones that came with the IKEA shelf. You mean the one that's not on the right angle? Those ones? Glad Josh is here. I missed one already here. Hang on. Brian Sherwood, I want to hear profanities. Fart, fart, poop, poop, poop. It's been a while since I've done a live build, I'll tell you that much. What was the last one I did? TRX4 giveaway build. Which, yes, will be given away. It's not a raffle. It's not... You don't have to enter anything. I still haven't really figured out how I'm going to do it. Perry G, thanks for the $5. You're the man. I could never stream this. I'd ruin the instructions. Curse a lot. Lose my voice, and it would take me 2 days. Yeah, well, we're not done yet. There's still lots of room for me to do all of those things. Quack RC, thanks for the $5. Yes, it is the LS Post build. This will be so cool. Oh yeah, hey man. Haha, hope all is well. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, all is well. I got some encouraging news on some projects I was working on that I was feeling a little down in the dumps about. The last couple of weeks have been pretty busy. And then to kind of see that some things are actually like finishing up and working out properly on my real work end of things. I'm happy. I'm feeling pretty good about stuff. So to be able to sit down in here for the afternoon and build a truck with all you guys and presumably gals. I am thread locking these CL Audio. I'm just doing that off camera. I like having the manual right here. It's nice to be able to... It's a good point, though, RC Crawler of Connecticut. You can have it up on this... I could have it up right here on this screen. But the thing about having it right here is that if I need to check something, I'm better at looking at it on paper. I always have been. I get more accomplished this way than I would if it were on a manual, if I were on a monitor. WesMade, no, those commercials have not come out yet. But rest assured, the moment they do, I will share them because they're pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased with them. So now I'm just attaching the bearing carriers to the ring and pinion as per the instructions. Smooth. Here is the ring and pinion carrier, and I believe that it goes in this way because you want to have the F9. What's going on here? Upwards. There we go. Just like that. But before you put that in, gotta do some more things. We need one of these. We need a big fat bearing. This is a big one. It's the 5x14x5. And that goes in there, thusly. And then we'll put this on there. Nice and smooth. And we'll lock that down with some screws. Some 3x12 mils. 2, 3, 4. And some more Loctite. Ugh. It's so mucky in here because I've used so much of this stuff. Ugh. I'm out of the good stuff. I'm gonna move to crappy stuff. It's DJ that guy in the house. I'm on the 1s and 2s. Oh yeah, it's Pi Day today, isn't it? Or was that yes? No, that's today, March the 14th. Cinnamon buns count as pie, right? Sure they do. All right, so a little dab will do you. You don't need a lot of Loctite. If you put too much on, you'll never get them off, and that's not good. So I'm quite sparing in my application of Loctite. Don't like to overdo it. All right. For most of these sorts of things, I don't really use the power driver all that much. I don't like over torquing these things, especially when there's moving parts involved. So I generally just use hand tools for this stuff. Plus it's quieter, which is nice. And I always try to do this diagonal or zigzag pattern. I didn't forget about Dre. Lewis, Lightroom Lives are on Tuesday nights. And I didn't do one last week because, like I said, I was pretty busy with work. But I will definitely, maybe possibly get back on it this week. So I always make sure that everything's still spinning nice and smooth. This is the 410 Pro, yes. I have not built the Ultra because I've got enough trucks with portals. I don't need another one, which isn't to say I don't love Vanquish portals, because I have a set of those on my SCX-10 to UMG 10. Okay, so that's bearing carrier, front carrier, ring and pinion, all done. Spinning nice and smooth. Anybody else use the chapstick Loctite? I've never heard of that before. Is that some sort of comedy? So then we just take our nicely machined one-piece aluminum axle Curry F9. I went black for this kit. That just slides right into place so nicely. Now we need some 14 mil bolts, which, no, we need, sorry, M3 by 8 mil. Josh is probably cringing listening to me build this thing. He's like, no, you're slow and ineffective. Well, I've only built 4. I didn't have a hand in designing it, so cut me some slack. Oh, my secret machine. I'm a film editor. That's what I do for a living. I mainly edit television commercials, music videos, short films. I'm doing a pitch on a TV show right now, which is really very interesting. It's a little bit outside of my normal my wheelhouse usually. Oh yeah, grease. Grease is important. Thanks for the reminder. Josh, you're doing it wrong, but better. Hey, Moose Jaw. Yeah, grease is sort of an important thing. It's like, that thing that lubricates everything. Oh, Lord. This stream is over! Alright, so, I just spin it. You just lick it, stick it, and see you later, bye. I just spin it by hand and get enough grease on there to kind of coat everything nicely. I don't overdo my grease because it all just spins off the ring and pinion anyway. So what's the point? Right? Low-budget adult films. That's where the money is. Gotta go where the money is. No, advertising is my bread and butter, though, and I've been in that business now for 21 years, and I'm very very lucky and honored to have had a long career in it, and I get paid pretty well, and it lets me buy a few RC toys, which is nice. I mean, RC serious adult kits. It's fun. It's like problem solving, right? And I'm still building something. I'm just not building anything with my hands per se. It's a lot more in my head sort of building, but it is really, really fun. I get a kick out of it, and I've made a lot of good friends in that business, and just really happy to be working still, because it's tough out there right now for a lot of people. Rich Trujillo, is this still going? I don't think it's ever going to end. Like the streams that Josh and I are doing, we were just goofing around with the titles on Wednesday, like this is the end, or, goodbye, or whatever we ended up saying. Because it's so typical of YouTubers to use that kind of messaging. Yeah. But, yeah, it's fun. We like doing those streams. I get a lot of entertainment value out of them, and I'm sure a lot of people do as well. So we're just going to keep going with them as long as we possibly can. Moose Jaw, yes, I've done a bunch of music videos, but mostly Canadian artists, so not anybody you'd probably know. And Adam, I'm fortunate enough to be able to work at home, which is really good. I ended up switching out my Mac for a PC, and it was the best thing I'd ever done for my productivity, just in terms of the price to performance ratio. I was like, why didn't I do this ages ago? I should have done this a long time ago. So I'm pretty happy to have that opportunity to be able to work at home. I have a really good chair and a nice big desk. I mean, it's the same desk that I do Lightroom Live from. So I'm just building the knuckles here. Was there... yeah, there was some nice ASMR on that crinkle. Hi, Wes. I think we already said hi, but... and it's funny, I was always probably able to work from home, but we have so many client meetings, right? Where the agency people and their clients like to come in, and they like to be a part of the editorial process, that there's so many people, they just want to be in the office. And that's fine. I mean, that's totally cool. It's their prerogative. It's their money they're spending, so they can do whatever they want. But what I've really learned from this whole experience is how easy it is to get everything done from home. And I think clients are starting to realize that too. So this will probably go on for some time. And it may be the way that things go forever. Who knows? It's hard to say. These hexes are really, really, really nice. I should mention that. Rush. Actually, funny you mentioned that, Brian. I have worked on some Rush concert videos. I did a couple of songs. Hamish Storm is here. Hello. Thanks for watching. Yes, I do. I'm developing a very nice mullet. It's starting to creep out the back, which is good. Ish. 325 people watching. Wow. Wes, you've worked from home for 6 years. What do you do? What do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking? Some people don't like to talk about it. Wait, do I need to put bearings? Yes. Almost forgot. Bearings in the ends of the axle, people. Don't forget. They have to go on both sides, too. Yeah, I will definitely have to get a laptop again. I had one for a while. I had to give it up for another editor who needed it more than I did. So this is the tricky part. You got to fit these little carriers in here before you put the knuckles on. And this is what makes this axle so great. If I can zoom in a little bit more. There we go. These little guys, you can replace these little inserts, sort of like a threaded insert. So if you were to, say, strip one of these, the whole axle would be ruined in a normal case. But with these, you can just put those in and swap them out if you strip it out, which is so much better than replacing a whole axle because these are not cheap. So good on Vanquish for thinking of the customer first. Okay, so now that those are in, we can put our screws in here. And I think these get a touch of Loctite because it is metal on metal. It's still a bit of a challenge to get these in properly without getting the insert twisted. So bear with me for a moment here while I do this properly. Oh, almost. Definitely don't want to muck this part up. Josh is probably cringing. Hopefully he's not watching anymore. There we go. Perfect. And just finger tight on those because the thread lock will set and then it'll be just fine. Good system on these axles. Manage the preventative maintenance tasks for an industrial gas company. Oh, that's cool, Wes. I had no idea that you were in like a manufacturing sort of business or utilities. That's neat. Cool. There we go. One side done. Let's do the other side. Does the kit come with the Land Cruiser 40 body? No. It comes with a Scout-esque. It's a Scout adjacent body, but not a Scout. Where did you see one with a 40 series body? Was that one of Josh's concoctions? It must have been. I think he's done that, hasn't he? Oh, it's such a good feeling when that just slides right in. That's what she said. This is all going to come back to haunt you on Wednesday. Yeah, definitely. Josh is going to be like, you screwed up step 1. Well, Pobody's nerfed. Pobody's nerfed in Australia. Anybody get that reference? Nobody's asked me about my shirt yet either. This is a Turks and Jerps original. That's a good one, Chris. No. I'm not painting the body on this one at all. I'm leaving this one. This one's for the LS Post, so I'm not going to be putting the Scout body on it. Sorry. Tommy Gilham. Never heard of him, but that doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of people living in Canada that I don't know. All right. There's the other side. Good. Good. Now we need these guys. A little more thread lock for all of these miniature screws. And now these screws, because they are stainless, make a lot more sense for this step rather than the first step. Turks and Jerps is an amazing builder. He's an amazing friend as well. We are definitely missing hanging out with each other. By now, it's been like way over a year. I saw him last in November of 2019. And we, by now, this time of year, we probably would have been out off-roading twice, playing with tiny trucks twice, gone to a couple of comps by now. It's been kind of a bummer, I will tell you that much. But it's not the end of the world. We'll get through it. Get to see each other again. You're editing a video where you're building a VS4-10 and watching someone live build a VS4-10. It's a lot of VS4-10ing. How many of you out there have a VS4-10? I'm curious. My secret machine, we're about 5 hours in an international border apart. So, not a lot of travel happening right now. This is a good angle. You know, I'm looking at this as I'm doing it, and you get a good sense of the build, I think. Which is good. This is good. Brian Sherwood, you've got 3. Let me count how many I have. I've got the Origin, which is now the CJ. Or not CJ, sorry, Willys. 1. This will be 2, 3, 4. But I've built more because I've built a couple of the chassis kits. Craig, that's very magnanimous of you. Alright, so there's basically the front axle done. We're going to add this, and where's my little shim? Where'd that go? Shim gone. It was right here. There it is. They do want you to shim the front output shaft, so we're going to do that. I don't thread lock these because that's a bad idea. Yes, Josh, all the correct screws seem to be done. Nice, smooth, free-flowing motion. Looking good, looking sharp. I do like that axle. That is nice. All right, one down, rear one to go. Open bag B. It's odd, Josh, you're already here and we haven't opened the D bag yet. I'm sorry. I'll just go home. Like any good manufacturer, when they create a product and something's not quite perfectly right, they include a nice little message to say, do it in this order, idiot. Always helpful. The good people. Is anyone taking bets on if I cut or hurt myself today? Somebody call the burn ward. Oh, Josh. So great to have fun, someone to poke fun at all the time. Makes life so much more enjoyable. I will tell you that right now. Okay, let's get this right this time, huh? What screws do I use? The black ones. Does anybody remember when the SCX-10 II first came out? And because they were the first ones to use the smaller ring and pinions. VS4 has too short of a wheelbase? What are you talking about? It's a 12.3 inch wheelbase. You're crazy if you think that's too short. Anyway, what I was going to say anyway, was that when this style of ring and pinion first came out, the original ones had just a 3 gear on the ring, or 3 screws to hold it together. And then people were busting those left, right, and center, so Vanquish decided they would redo it with 6. And I don't think I hear of many people breaking them now. So, good on ya. Best coffee, Tim Hortons or Starbucks? I'm going to go Starbucks. I go there much more frequently than I go to Tim Hortons. I find Tim Hortons to be just kind of watered down sugar water. It's not my sort of coffee. And they're bold. I did a commercial for their bold coffee. And I remember tasting it for the first time and going, that's not that bold. That would be like mild anywhere else. I'm not like a huge coffee connoisseur though. You know, like in a pinch. You want that hot bean water? Yeah, it's like coffee, for me, coffee is a function for routine and waking up and having a little caffeine. You know, like I guess I could have a Monster Energy, but then you're drinking all the sugar, and I don't really want sugar. Everyone's allowed to have an opinion, though. And, you know, if you've got a favorite thing, if Red Bull is your thing, or Monster Energy, or Rockstar, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Dave, the new foams, the original foams on the yeah, Chris brings his own coffee to events, and that coffee is rock and roll, for sure. It's very good. I was answering somebody else's question, though. But I missed it. I have not tried Peter McKinnon's coffee. He's like selling it? I don't know. I've never tried it. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't get out very much. Or apparently go on the internet at all. Where'd that bag go? There it is. The VXT foams, thank you. The original Origin foams were not great, and they were actually really hard to mount, if I recall. But I think they did update the foam to be a better compound, so it definitely works better now. You know, for like I said, for a ready-to-run or kit included tire and wheel combo, they're not bad. I still don't. I'm not going to use them on this build, and I haven't used them very much in the past, but they're good. Chair needs to be lubed. Oh, Jesus. Dad-daughter RC541 was Red Bulls every day. Now my liver is shot. Yikes. That's not good news. Sorry to hear that. They did go to a softer foam on the Pro and Ultra. See? I am smart. SMRT. Chris is definitely in the proper part of the world for coffee. I fully agree with that. This bearing carrier is an excellent idea. I'm sure it was not Josh's idea, though. Where's my thingy? Where's my thingy? What wheels and tires will you be using? Good question, Wes. It's something that I've been kind of struggling with. I haven't come up with a good solution yet. I had a few that I was auditioning, and then I kind of let that go for now. I haven't made any firm decisions yet. I know which ones I won't be using, and that's that RC four-wheel drive crazy mud tire that I put Vanquish wheels on because I got scolded for even considering it by a certain, well, I don't want to say his name out loud. Let's say it's Jay Theedy. No, that's too obvious. Josh T. Don't forget your thread lock. Just like I said, a little dab will do ya. And try to go in a diagonal pattern so it gets torqued down properly. Afternoon. The Thornbirds. No, it wasn't that one. It was that other weird new tire. The Mickey Thompson one, I think. I don't remember what it's called. My name is on that patent document, thank you very much. Yeah, but it's only because they felt bad for you. Like, they're like, oh man, throw them a bone. Come on, just give them something. Baja Pro X, that's it. Thank you, Ryan. Give Josh the credit on the bearing carrier. No, I'm sure you did a lot of really good stuff over there, Josh. You condensed a lot of cardboard that day. Do you still have a cardboard guy? I'm not saying it's not a noble profession. It is. I'm terrible at condensing my cardboard. It's not that I didn't like that tire, the Pro X. It's just so soft that I feel like if it touched a rock here, I would just destroy them. Well, we don't call him Cardboard Guy. Yeah, he's a guy. Oops, upside down. He's a guy, but we don't call him that. Brutal. That poor man. One, two, three, four. Oh, Trusty's RC is getting me right in the feels. I think I'm going to buy a VS4-10 Pro, but put a Lloyd body on it. Have the best kit and the worst body. I think Moose Jaw sent me a picture and he goes, guess what I... No, it was Tony from CCXRC. He's like, guess what I got? It was a J Concepts box. I was like, you don't even have to tell me. Call him Tosh. Oh, man. Hey, thanks for the thumbs up, Bill. Cardboard Technician. Senior Associate. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the shims are on the floor. I found the shim. I found it. Yeah, cardboard recycling day here in this house. It's like a box comes in. And you see the box, and you know, like for example, the latest Tamiya box that came to the house Had all kinds of really good packing peanuts in it, and it was a nice, really solid box. And you look at it and you go, man, that's a nice box. You're like, I don't have anything I need to ship anywhere right now. But I might. I love this little red cap for the faux oil fill. I guess you could use that to fill it with grease if you were like really desperate, but I just like that little piece. It's just a nice little touch to a very cool looking axle. Okay, so that's that. Let's get some rear shafts. Thread lock it. Oh. Yeah, good boxes are, when a good one, like an Amazon box, not a good box. The box the Vanquish VS4-10 comes in, like the cardboard box, very good box. What's the name of that paint you use to weather the Scania? It's a Arox, but I'll allow it. Let me see if I have one handy here. Here's one. These are MIG oil brushers, and it's for the oil dot method. I wouldn't use this to paint a truck, but excellent for that weathering technique. So there you go. Sometimes my wife has oh, Brian, I almost read that out loud. Where's my mod team? Josh, you'll be happy to know I started my own mod channel, or chat on Instagram, so now I can talk to all of my faithful moderators. All right, these are the same length because this is a center diff. So let's put some bearings and then shove that shaft in that hole. Terrible. If your kids are watching, they shouldn't be. All right, my shafts are in. Oh, where's that piece of paper? Install between bearing and pin. Don't forget that. Bearing, pin. You can put the caps on first. It's just so... I just think they're neat. And that's definitely what she said. Yes, definitely. You may not see me thread locking, but I am thread locking. Any metal on metal contact. It's a good dab of thread lock. Mod chat is the good stuff. Yeah, I just have to get a little more active in there. I have that Discord thing. I haven't been participating very much, and that's because I was like, oh, I didn't realize that it's just another like version of chatting to people. I thought it was like a good way to keep people informed of stuff, but it turns out most people just use it for talking to other people. In fact, that's what I use when I do a lot of online gaming. When I'm playing Modern Warfare with my friends from work, we use Discord to chat rather than the in-game chat. We just mute that and just use Discord. Oh, next Friday, I think I might be on EVGA's live stream and doing some actual gaming live with some of the guys from EVGA. I've been testing out their new keyboard and mouse, their gaming keyboard and mouse, and I'm really, really pleased with how the performance of this keyboard works. I'm turning into a bit of a keyboard snob, it turns out. And yeah, I like a good quality keyboard. Their optical switches, and you don't like, there's still moving parts, but it's not a moving part that's responsible for actually registering the click, so I guess it's a faster keyboard. There's something magical about it, I guess. But yeah, it's kick-ass. And this mouse, actually, you can vary the DPI, so you can vary how quickly the mouse moves around on the screen with like a touch of a button. So, for example, like say you're in sniping mode or whatever, and you want to get off a good snipe, you can just click this button and it reduces the DPI so you can move less and get a little more accurate on your snipes. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, let's shim. Oops, where'd it go? It just popped off and shim gone. That's so weird. Oh no, it's on there. Zero dropped frames, 57 minutes. Oh, I better hurry up. Running low on time here. I'll try a double shim on that one. Looks to be about right. Something great about Call of Duty chat, though. That's where I learned the best, worst cuss words as a teenager. And I won't deny that fact. All right, those are the axles done, guys. We are moving on to the chassis. When do we do the transmission? Oh, that's soon. But nice set of axles there, I will say. They look excellent in black, and I think they'll look really cool under the... Here, let's do this properly. Under the Jeep. That's going to be boss. Nice. Smart. All right. Bag C, which I believe is somewhere. Not in this bag. Ooh. I see. That's where it is. Can you build this but better? I've seen this guy on YouTube called Hayabusa Designs who builds them faster. He might build them faster, but he's got more experience than I do. I can't help that. I'm doing the best I can. And I'm having fun doing it. Thanks everybody for watching me build this today. Hopefully the chat's flowing well. 57 minutes and 2 axles. This is going to take a while. Yes, it probably will. I didn't say it was going to be quick, but it'll be done right eventually. Came out excellent. Thanks, Chris. All right. We're making servos happen, so I might as well install this servo, even though there's a strong likelihood it's not going to stay in the position that it's in. Like I said, I'm using a Tekin T440, which the name is not it's not clever. That is how many ounce-inches of torque there are at what is it, 8, I think at 8.4 volts. Oh no, at 8.4 volts, it's 502 ounce-inches of torque. So, that's a lot. Hot tip though, top tip on the Tekin servo, it won't work with the included servo horn. So keep that in mind. When you are building yours, you might want to use a Vanquish one. Just saying. Now, because we're using plastic, we can get into some power driving, and you can all turn your volumes down. Because it's about to get loud. Turn it up. Am I putting this in properly, first of all? Yes. There's a definite likelihood it won't stay. Yes. Correct. Hello? Go in the hole, please. Oh, oops. Don't turn your torque up too high. I'm usually around a 9 for these. Loud power tools. Yep, I told you. Get ready. Do you want it to be loud? We will not put in a servo horn today. Who else agrees, and you should, that this is easily the strongest chassis on the market? Like, it's just so stout. Darn kids and your fancy Futaba stuff. Who's got Futaba? Not me, man. I can't afford those. I think Josh gets some sort of like consideration. Let's put it that way. I think that's because I don't know anybody other than him that uses Futaba servos. Does anybody else use them? Oh, dang it. VS4-10 survive a curb hit. I'd say it's got a stronger chance. Well, yes and no. It'll never get up. I won't purposely make a VS4-10 go 60 miles an hour like I did the TRX-6. Okay. Let's get some chassis rails out. Hi, RC Addict from Romania. Thanks for the early live. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm happy to help. Mostly because this is a nice way to spend my afternoon. And that way, you know, everybody gets to have a regular afternoon afterwards, or evening, or morning, or whatever it is you might be having. Who's buzzing me? All right. The only parts tree so far. I don't think I'll be upgrading to the aluminum shock towers. I don't think those are totally necessary at this point. M3 by 10. There we go. 2 of those. 1 of those. Let's do this first. Make sure you get your orientation on your shock towers properly. Yes, I've got a Holmes servo on the way, but that's going to be for another build. I haven't yet decided. 3 by 6. Yes. Haven't decided yet what I'm going to put that into. Oh, and I think I've sorted out. Remember I was working on the extra cab on the Element with IFS, and everyone was like, and I was also putting in the GCM transmission and like moving it all around, making it a lot more scale. I think I've figured out what motor is going to go in there and not have to require a lot of cutting. So I'm pretty excited about that. These Traxxas tips for the Dewalt are amazing. Traxxas' whole toolkit is pretty great. It's worth mentioning. 3x10. These look longer than 10. There we go. I almost screwed up. Oh no, I didn't. Those are right. Looks like I started a servo war in the chat. Attention, direction. I mean, yeah. I know which way it goes. Things are getting a little messy. Let's widen this shot a touch. How about there? There we go. Perfect. Exceptional. If you have not, please hit that like button. It's true, Art. Matt is screwing up the kit. Well, I am putting some screws in it. But I don't think I've screwed it up yet. Everything seems to be going properly. Some quiet reflection while I get this in the right spots. Yep. Idiot. Seen Holmes motors but no servos, eh? Well, Dana, they are pretty awesome servos. The SHV 500. I've run the V1 in my... Wait. That's not right. What am I doing wrong here? Yes, Craven Crawl Hobby. Doesn't matter how long it takes. It's doing it properly that matters. Sure, that looks right. Yes. It is a great chassis. I have to, like, I can't say that enough. It really is awesome. Axial 10-2 fender wells probably won't fit. Just saying. Now we need panhard, which is machined aluminum. And that goes on these first two here. And make sure you're getting your direction right on this. You want the body post facing back. V2. And just start this with hand tools so I don't have to hold it in place. Yeah, Matthew, I'm with you, man. Used trucks have their pluses and their minuses. You definitely pay less for it, generally. But in most cases, you're just fixing things that other people didn't do. Okay, so that's one side done. Let's move on to the other side. The great thing about these rails, it's a very high clearance chassis. You get a lot of up travel, which offers a lot of benefits. You can get the whole chassis down a lot lower if you are so inclined, yet still get a lot of travel out of it, which is exactly how the comp truck that I set up is sort of built around that idea. Okay, so we're going to do this again. I think we're humming along now, if I'm honest. Yes, Josh, definitely. Sorry very much to hear about your kitty. It was not fun to lose a friend. Similar to the Enduro rail in terms of its design, but this is a much more robust chassis by a long shot. Which isn't to say the Enduro isn't a well-built machine. It's just this one is so much stronger. It's not even a competition. Hands down, strongest chassis. And it's still a nice C-rail chassis, so it still has, you know, that scale, kind of accurate sort of background. No, Suki is fine. It was one of their other kitties, unfortunately. Does flex even matter that much? In a chassis, yes. Can definitely get you into trouble when you get bound up. Curb tested, SPG approved. But yeah, like a more firm chassis will prevent a lot of that kind of flexing, which could get you pretty bound up. Where I don't like a lot of flex is in shocks and axles. I don't think you need it there so much. Oh wait, I have gone, that's not supposed to go there yet. They really did think of everything with this chassis. Nice low transmission, kind of built-in spots for the dig and everything that you might want to upgrade this truck with. Pretty cool. Probably also not going to use the body posts, so that's not going to be a thing. I'm going to do the front here. Yeah, peanut. 10. How's everybody's Sunday going? I feel like that's going to be too long. Well, maybe there's enough clearance there. We shall see. Yes. Well, it says 10. We will go with it. Okay. That's that step. We won't need the body post, so I'm going to skip that step. And now we're on to the transmission. The D-bag. This is Josh's part. Need to get out that grease again. Big Red Bitch, replacing your dual Z. Oh, you're adding a dual Z axis. I have that on the Prusa. It just comes with the dual Z. And I just before this stream started, not like 10 minutes beforehand, I just finished a print. I'm doing the short bed Chevy version for the man who designed it. Because he was so impressed with the quality of the Prusa on mine, he asked if he could get one for him, and that's Rex Racer Mod 19, and that kit should be available soon, I think. It's definitely going to be a thing, and it'll be a nice way to convert your Blazer very accurately and with some really quality looking parts too. It's pretty amazing. So watch for that coming soon. Move all my little spares extra over there. A no prep Prius body in the works. Wow. Now what about a Yaris body? Because I think that's the one that Josh would care more about. Shouldn't the transmission be in the tea bag? Josh probably hasn't seen a lot of tea bags in his day. Hoping anyway. All right, what do we do first? First thing to note on the Pro is that you get an aluminum motor plate. I think this is the motor plate. Yes, it is. In the Ultra, which is the portaled version, you don't. It's plastic. So Pro means no plastic. Definitely a bonus. Where's my tubes? My precious antique tubes. 16 ounces of marine grease from Amazon for 20 bucks. I only got 3 fluid ounces. But it'll last me 1/3 of a lifetime, I think. Matt, how come your cameras don't freeze up like Josh's do? It's almost like Matt's a professional video man. Yeah, but I do have that whole freezing problem when I use broadcast, so we got to figure that one out first. Regardless, let's zoom in a little bit for this moment, this section, if you will. Yeah, I don't know. Just lucky, I guess. Five by 11 by 4. I think we got that right. And then we will need 2 of these. Now, when Josh was building his, he didn't use these for his comp truck. And I think that's just because he was building a comp truck and he wanted, or he didn't install the covers or something. Yeah. Oh, Tim, your wife's building a sand scorcher. I have a sand scorcher kit as well. And I've been thinking about that build for a while now. I don't have a lot of time lately to build anything because I'm building this and I want to get this project. It's not like I don't want to get it out of the way. You know what I mean? I want to get it done because I want to have it for this year and for this season, this spring season. Oops. So I'm like keen to get it done. But then I've got that other Tamiya project coming up and I want to have that sort of ready too. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's going to be a lot of content coming, which is good. It's nice. It's good to have content. Need this. Gotta get this out. We're gonna need some other things. Ooh, this little guy. Sort of hard to see. No Loctite on that. No, I'm not putting any Loctite on that. It gets sandwiched, so there's no need. It won't come loose. Josh probably will disagree. Maybe he won't, though. Maybe he'll go, hey, you know what? That's a great idea. I'll do that next time. Let's see if I can get a better angle. There you go. Where's my nut? There it is. My secret machine, if they're local comps, there's a possibility I will go. But if it requires travel, you can pretty much guarantee I will not be doing any traveling, unfortunately. It's just not feasible for me to do any traveling at the moment. You know, I'm still pretty much in a pretty heavy-duty lockdown, so they want it to stay that way. These I will Loctite. Rudy, that's a great point. You're right. The Sand Scorcher is not a great handling vehicle. I mean, it was built and released in 1979. So, you know, it's definitely one of those vehicles that you know, it wasn't performance based at the time, and certainly isn't performance based by today's standards. Sorry, just getting these threaded in here. But you're right, it does kind of handle exactly like the real thing. Which, you know, that's just what those Beetles are all about. And for me, the Sand Scorcher build is just sort of more like, it's just one of those things that really makes me happy. How have I gotten this so wrong? Great for its time, built now for nostalgia. Exactly. That's a really good way of putting it. There we go. That's more like it. Sometimes you just got to get the orientation of the gear proper. So it's sort of like a even distribution for the bolts. Is this a Vanquish kit or a parts build? This is a Vanquish VS4-10 Pro kit, and I'm building it to go on the WesMade LS Post body that he made for me. So that's what this is all about. Pro is the way to go. It's always time for a Tamiya build. That's a good slogan. Alright, motor. I have not decided on a motor, so we are going to skip that portion of it, which is a real pain in the butt, because putting this on afterwards is never fun. But let's just pretend for now that I did put a motor in there. Make sure you get the orientation of your transmission parts in the proper order. That's not the right one. Where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one first. Thanks for watching, Rancid. Have a great day. Now it's tiny screw time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these, I don't think I need to thread lock these either. They could probably be because it's metal on metal, but again, everything gets sandwiched together, so it's probably not a big deal. I'll let you know in 3 months. Hi, Rebels Rush. How are you? Oh, just finished the audio and the video edit. Nice job, Wes. Wes, I have a voiceover video that I'm doing. I put all the Haas upgrades on, and I did like a step-by-step on all of them. I'm going to voice over that afterwards. So I'm going to see what kind of struggle you go through, because I'm assuming it's not the easiest thing in the world. It's been a while since I've done like a full voiceover build, so it'll be interesting to see. Please use the Desert Lizard shock for some droop. Pass. I'm just going to use regular everyday incision shocks that come with this kit. They should work more than fine. You write a script. That's probably smarter than I was going to do. I was literally just going to, what's the word? Watch it and then record a line and make sure it all fits. That's what I was going to do. But writing a script makes a lot more sense. In fact, that's what the pitch that I'm working on gave me to work from. So, turns out you know best. Michael Swan, thanks for the $5. When this build is complete, it will be absolutely epic. I don't disagree. I think it's going to be one of those builds that is sort of a halo build for me. Having something so nice from Wes is a real kicker, for sure. Something that won't get sold. Just live on the shelf like the half-track and the steam-powered Jeep and the Ripper. It's just going to be one of those sort of halo builds. And I'm really excited to finally get started on it. I mean, I only had the body for a couple weeks now, but that's what I'm really looking forward to doing next. The next video, like build series style video that you're probably going to see, will be the Super Scale 2020 Toyota Trekker build. And I've swapped that Super Scale system from the TRX4 that I had it in and put it into an SCX-10-2 with that custom Trekker body from Turks and Jerps. So that's going to be really exciting. That's going to be a fun build for sure. definitely a unique one, that's for sure. .12 mil, which is that one. I will also say this is one of my favorite transmissions to build. I think it's a really unique system, and it kind of borrows a lot from some of the comp style transmissions where the motor sits really super low. Like the motor sits down here in the chassis and is basically right along under the skid, like right along the rail there. So it's pretty amazing. All right, now let's put some gears in here. How do we do this? Start with a bearing in there. And it looks like we get a bearing in the top here as well. Keep that shaft from moving around. Nice and smooth. I always check the tolerances as I go through a step. I'm going to put a pin in there. Put a pin in it! Which pin does that one get? 2x8. Which I think is this one. Yep. Getting these pins in here. And it's not like I've got big, giant hands, but if you had big hands, this might be a bit of an issue. What's the maximum motor length? Josh can answer that question for you, but like the Hobby Wing, as an example, the Hobby Wing Fusion won't fit. It is a little bit longer though, so keep that in mind. Bottom shaft, note the direction, goes in there. Then this gets a longer pin. Stick that in. Okay. Big ass gear. Goes there. Then we get the... Which gear is that one? That one? 23 tooth. Yep. Like that. You'll want to grease that up. There we go. Nice and greasy. Okay. That's it for that section. Then we're putting this case cover on here. 12 mils again. Probably drive those in. I've got a Fusion motor, JG Kimbo. I put that, what did I put that in? It's gone in the Traxxas TRX4 giveaway build, actually. Which makes it convenient and easy for whomever wins that. Put that in by hand. It's definitely nice and smooth on the low end, for sure. Hi, Vidjo. I didn't know you were here. Somebody looking for a question answered there. Skeletor. Standard 540 motors fit. Fusion is a 550 length. So there you go. Answered. Oh, we have to put the cover on the top here. Need some M2 by 8 mil. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me know if you guys have any questions, if you want to see anything with more detail, or if there's something specific that you wanted to ask about this kit. By all means, ask away in the chat. I am here for you. With a grinder, any motor will fit. That's the WesMade School of Building right there. Hurried home just for this. Were you out in the rocks having fun? Video's been taking a lot of good photos outside. Oh, I only want to see two things: cats and more cats. Well, my cats don't usually come around the workshop very much. They don't love it in here. Well, I don't love when they come in here. How about that? Because they come in here a lot, it seems. All right, where's our plates? Are we going to do an overdrive today? Yes, because it comes with. So we're doing it. Bearings, 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 bearings. My question is, do you think they get sourced from Fast Eddie, or are they just sourced from somewhere else? I do not know. We need 8 mil pin again. There we go. Earlier I asked why you didn't grease your diff bearings. Because they're already pretty greasy on the inside. I've never greased them before. I didn't know that was a thing that people did, if I'm honest. $32, $30. Put that. And where's the other shaft here? This one. 10 mil pin. The silence of concentration. It's so quiet in here you could hear a pin drop. Add grease to open bearings if they show up dry. Yeah, these did not though. They were not dry. Ah, okay. Fair enough. If that's something that you do, then by all means, you go ahead and keep doing it. I'm not here to stop you. There we go, nice and greasy. I tend to not really over grease. Like I said, it just ends up spraying all over the inside of the case that anyway. Quiet pauses is like watching golf. All right, that looks like it's good to go. Let's toss some bearings in here. Is this a good angle? Do you guys like seeing this sort of like side profile? I've been thinking about an overhead view, and I'm wondering if that's something that we could definitely sort of incorporate into the streams. Oh man, what an excellent, excellent... Wait, did I forget something? Yes. Pull that off for a second. And put this in. Oops. Where's this go? Bearing plate spacer. There we go. Oh, I have to screw this on first. Duh. Yeah. This goes in here. This view feels very natural. Okay, thank you. Don't forget that one pin. Nothing like some side shot. Oh boy. There we go. Nice. Nice. Looks like we got everything. I'm going to toss that cover on. Fits perfect. Spinning. Spinning. One big bolt goes through there. And then these two 12 mils on this side and under there. Let's get those on. Power drive. You've selected power drive. Thank you, RC World Shop, for the €2. Much appreciated. And cool pear-shaped thingy. I don't over-torque these again because you don't want to like clamp down on any of those bearings. There we go. Just make sure everything's still spinning freely. So many Simpsons references. It's like I watched that show in the golden age, and it's the only thing I remember from my childhood. Hey, Stabby Josh. How's it going, buddy? All right. That is basically the transmission. It's such a beautiful piece. Every gear required does its thing, does its thing it's supposed to do. Not a lot of space wasted either. Like the actual transmission component, like all the gearing, is pretty compact, really. You know, like it's not even as deep as the motor is going to be. It's a really spectacular transmission. What am I doing here? Oh, the links. I almost forgot about the worst part. It's still upcoming. And they're not built. It's not a Traxxas kit. Overhead from the front a bit. Overhead from the front a bit so we don't see the top of your head when you lean over while working. Are you don't get that in this view, do you? There it is. Is that a Josh? Is that a rib on Josh? Is that what he does? He like leans over and then you can't see anything? I presume that that's what you're talking about. I usually presume quite accurately. Side shot would be good, except it keeps going out of the top of frame. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I can adjust up if we need to. And in fact, I might actually do that. Just a scotch. That's slightly better. It's safe to assume everything is a rib on Josh. Yes, agreed. All right, now we can add the transmission to the skid. And it goes in with not a lot of bolts, and it just slides right in there so nicely. I am 3x12s. 1, 2, 3 of those. One here. And 2 on this side. What a marvel of engineering. The actual distance between, now I don't have a good square calculator here, and I can't give you super accurate readings, but it's about 62 millimeters. Wait, sorry. 58 or so millimeters before the actual end of the trans between the plate and the actual transfer case. So it's about the best I can give you for now. There are 2 16 mil bolts that need to go up front here, but I'm just going to pop those in kind of loosely because I still have to get at all of that to set my gear mesh when I put my motor in, so I'm just going to loosely place them for now. I will get to that step much later on. There's going to be a lot of finessing and moving of things. Once we get the body on, because quite literally I can put this on here now and you can see how short this body is. I mean, it probably could move forward a little bit, but there's still no way that it's all going to work under there. As you can see, widen this out a little bit. Yeah, it's a little short on the wheelbase, but like I said, a lot of chopping will occur in another video. All right, I feel like it's time for links. Ugh. Shocks, I'm also not going to do. I'm not going to bore you with shocks. They're already built. They just need to be filled with oil. But I'm not going to do that yet either. We'll hold off on that for now. Maybe we'll put them on. No, I'm not. Let's just keep going on the chassis. Let's get that done. We'll see if we have time. Moving on to F. And let me actually, before we move on there, let me just clean up my workspace a little bit here. Got some bits and pieces that are spares for the most part. Let's put those back there. And probably time to stop drinking coffee, considering it's 4:55. Switch to bubbly. You are absolutely right, Alex. Some heavy sciencing is going to be required. And today's not a day for science. We got more time for that later. There's going to be a lot of noodling, that's for sure. Everyone's favorite part of kit building, links. Said nobody ever. So let me put out this question to everybody. What do people think I mean, you know, there's been sort of like some loose references to Rift kits. Not to fear, it's been done once before, it can be done again. Exactly, Wes. And you so wonderfully were helpful and put all the photos up on the build thread on the forum, so I'll be able to reference those when I do all of my construction. Are you talking about, Matthew, the Zerba tool? Because yes, I do have a Zerba tool. This thing makes link building semi-less painless. Not a lot less painless, but semi-less painless. And what I do is I just chuck up my links in my handy Ryobi here. Grab a link, stick it in the thingy, just in the end there, and just put it on. It still isn't fun building links, because then you have to, like, well, I'll get to the other side here in a second. I'll just do one side on all of them first. This still isn't done, Jesse. You are absolutely correct. It does make things go a lot faster having this tool, though. There's no doubt about that. Is a truck ever really done, though? No. Oh boy, links, at least they aren't turnbuckles. Truth. I don't think there's anything worse than that. I mean, shock building is pretty brutal. Random question, what are your thoughts on adding transitions in videos? Wes, I have a great answer for you for that. It's something that I was taught very early on in my editing career. Most people tend to stay away from transitions. Sort of like, I don't use them very often, because when I was in school, somebody said to me, if you cannot solve it, dissolve it. It's like, if you can't find a great edit, just throw a dissolve in and move on. Like, if there's not a good cutaway or shot to cut to, just dissolve it. If you can't solve it, dissolve it. So I've kind of taken that to heart, and I always try to find a better solution first. It depends on the video, though. Like, if you want to show a passage of time, throw a wipe in there. If you're trying to keep it mellow, throw a dissolve in there. I mean, there's all kinds of relevant ways to do a transition. Sometimes I try to hide my transitions even. You know, like if there's like a tree or something, I use a wipe on that tree to make it feel like it's a seamless shot. There's all kinds of little techniques you can use, and there's great resources online to learn all about film editing. And I mean, I've always kind of toyed with the idea of doing a sort of how-to edit video, but I'm not sure that it would really resonate. Not like, I mean, it's a portion of what we do in this hobby for sure. Yeah, links and shocks, wipe it. And now the links are done. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh man, it sure would. I just wanted to see you guys watch me try to do this. Why can't I get... This link is wrong. Sometimes there's no substitute and you got to do it by hand. Okay. I mean, it looks like some people are definitely interested in me doing some sort of video on editing, and I would be happy to. But it's such a, for me, it's a really organic process. I mean, there are rules for sure, but you know, it's one of those things that I can kind of teach you the basics and tell you what kind of shots you should get. Oops. But again, a lot of it comes down to just knowing how to do it. But yeah, that's something we can definitely look at for sure. Somebody tell me a joke. Yeah, Wes, I'll happily, I will defer to not, or I'll not take your footage. I've done that for a few people though. I've cut videos for others. I did one for Turks and Jerps that was fun. Josh, you go get your Starbucks. Get me something too. I want a vanilla bean frappuccino. We did talk about doing that on the live stream too, but a live edit, that sounds like pressure. That might actually be a fun challenge, though, for Josh and I. That's something to consider, for sure. Josh already knows that I screwed up Jimmy, but I fixed it. I fixed it. Are we done yet? Turtle RC, I'm not your monkey to say what you... not a trained monkey here. Who's there, SFL? The installed rod end won't fit inside your drill chuck. Correct. It will, but it's a tight fit, and I don't want to wreck these rod ends. Woody's RC, that's great. Yesterday I saw a guy spill all his Scrabble letters on the road. I asked him, "What's the word on the street?" Yes, I've done that before, Hayden. I put a hook in the end one time, and now I don't know where that hook went. But we're almost done. We only have 3 more to do. Note to self, knock knock jokes are a no on live streams. Why is that? Paul, I would anticipate an update on RCPC in 2 or 3 weeks. You're welcome, Quack RC. Glad that I can help push people your way, I guess. I think the merit is that you just make nice videos. If I had to choose Class 1 or Class 2 for a VS4-10 Pro. Cool. Class 1? I don't know. Class 2 probably. I'm not, but keep in mind, my kind of qualifications for a comp truck are not the same as most people. I prefer to keep it pretty scale still, so you know, most people would choose a flat rail chassis or something that is like strictly comp. I'm not really that guy, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Alex, you're so right. And it's been therapeutic for me, too. I really enjoy just sitting here, building stuff, shooting the junk with you guys, and having some fun and having some laughs and taking my mind off the rest of the world. Dana, for a fast truck like the Haas, there's a lot more running involved. Like, I actually will run with my gimbal and controller and truck and try to follow it as best I can. Get a bunch of like fun, fast action stuff like that. I don't have the benefit of having a lot of friends around here who are into RC. So a video like that typically will just be myself filming and driving at the same time. I would like to have someone who either could drive the RC or could film the RC, but would have to sort of be one of the things that I would need to trust them to be able to do it the way I like to do it, both with the filming or the driving. So RC friends are overrated. That's why when there wasn't the whole global thing that's going on right now, I would go out to see Headquake, and Headquake and I would put some videos together, which was always super fun. All right, let's put some links on the chassis. Which way do we start? From the front lower links. Which ones? Front lowers are not that one. That one. And that one. Front lowers are always the untapered, or lowers are always the untapered ones. Are you ready for drill noises? Yeah, Headquake has not been making many videos lately. I don't think RC has been his focus lately. I think it's been music again, and he was always a musician first. Front lowers installed. Let's do Panhard link. Just gonna be that one. Yes. SMRT. Stabby Josh, I gotta go back and find the beginning of your joke. Oh man, it goes over multiple things here. Okay, looks like this is the beginning. Hi, Steven. Thanks. Glad your Bronco turned out great. Salesman rings the doorbell, and a really messed up kid comes to the door. One eye is lower than the other. His mouth is off to one side. The kid says, "Hello?" Salesman says, "Hello, young man. Is your mother at home?" The kid says, "No, my mother is in an institution." This is dark. Salesman says, "Well, is your father home?" The kid says, "No, my father's in an institution too." Salesman says, "Well, do you have any older brothers or sisters?" The kid says, "Oh yeah, I have a brother at Yale." Standing by. Where's the rest of this joke, Stabby Josh? Come on, bring it. I'm ready. Ooh, that's not gonna work. Oh, I'm dying for the end of this joke. That's weird. They don't show the front upper link. Strange. Salesman says, wait a minute, your mother's in an institution, your father's in an institution, you're obviously not normal. How the heck did your brother go to Yale? Kid says, in a jar. Oh my God. Grown. Man, that's brutal. Oh, the front upper link goes in the second step. I didn't even see that. What a goof. Front upper. I'll get it right one of these days. Front upper link. Getting these in just right. Oh, I had it. There we go. Front upper link installed. I was like, why aren't they showing that going in? I don't know. The only joke I have is the housing market. Oof. Why do seagulls fly over the ocean? Because if they flew over the bay, we'd call them bagels. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. So what's everybody doing today other than watching this? Are you building something in your workshop? Something flying cars. Joke complete. You can say that again. I mean, I've only watched it 4 times. Waiting for the second pizza I ordered. What happened to the first one? Tell me you ate it. Man, I love pizza. No pizza for me today, though. How do you get this all organized here? Oops. Do it right. Maybe do it so you can see it too. Sheesh. There. I'm assembling the front axles and adding all the little bits and pieces here, which is challenging from that perspective, I'm sure. There we go. Resisting taking the rift out again. Dana, do you like your rift? I am keenly interested in the rift. Oh, we gotta put the shocks on. Darn it. Forgot about that part. You know what? I'm skipping the shocks, guys. Skipping them. We'll get to that part later. Not a big deal at this point, because it will pretty much likely get disassembled anyway once we get to the point of putting the actual truck together with the proper body. Remember to get your drive shafts in phase as you're putting this together. You don't want them out of phase. Oh, you can't see that, so let's move it over this way. There we go. There. And we'll do our upper link mount. Time is it? 5:19. I have a feeling we're going to be done this well before 3 hours is up. I'm hoping anyway. It's going to be close. It'll be tight. Yeah, exactly, Mike. What's less fun than links? Shocks. They're always so not fun. There we go. Oh, my drive shaft came off. There we go. Once we get these links mounted up, they go in the bottom hole. Or no, they go in the top hole. They go in the bottom hole. And again, I'm not thread locking these yet because there's going to be a lot of disassembly. Are the Pro shocks pre-built? Yes, they are. But I'd still have to fill them with oil and spend all the time doing that, which I'm not going to do because I'm lazy. And with so much like disassembly coming, I don't really think there's much point. Yeah, it's merely being lazy. I don't know what you guys are talking about. My lunchbox shocks were super easy. I'm sure they were. All right, so that's that installed. Oh wait, we got to do the panhard, which they didn't show in this step yet. So it must be the next one. M3x12, which is this guy. I will thread lock that. Where can you get that tool? I don't remember where it's sold. So isn't that helpful? If you Google it, I'll put it up here real quick again for you. It is the Zerba tool, SZCZERBA tool. If you Google that, you will find it. The build quality is excellent, Rally Fox paints. Okay, that's front axle assembled and installed. Let's move on to the rear. We'll need the rear link mounts, or the rear lower links. Two 20 mil bolts. Phasing really is worth it. Yes, Alex. 100%. It's mandatory when building a truck. Make sure those are all in phase. Robert, are you having some keyboard trouble there? Lowers, then they ask you to put the shocks on. And I guess I missed the step for the uppers, obviously. $20 mils again for that. You can hear my wife upstairs. She's doing a Zoom call with a bunch of her high school friends. College friends, maybe. Jeff, that's a pretty interesting question. Let me read it carefully. Let me see here. On a DX5C, can you have a dig on a three-way switch to use all three options and separate momentary just for locked and four-wheel? No, you can't have a switch do both momentary and whatever the other one is. I can't remember what it's called. But you can only have one or the other. You can't have it both ways. Okay, that's the uppers and the lowers done. Yes, I was talking about a possibility of a rift kit, and I think that was kind of like, it was pretty much confirmed because of all the additional part numbers for different colors of plastics. At least that's the impression that I got. So that's, that's my best guess, that there will be some sort of kit. I'd like to see one for sure. It's Axial's kind of MO to do a kit anyway for most of their releases, so I can only assume it's coming. Sometimes, though, assumptions do make an ass out of you and me. We're almost there. This is pretty spectacular. I forgot how quickly this kit goes together, because when Vanquish put it together, they really kind of made it, constructed it in such a way that there's not a lot of frills. And frills maybe isn't the right word, but there isn't a lot of additional plastic. Like if if they could do it in one piece of plastic, they did it in one piece of plastic instead of like 3 pieces of plastic. You know, I think they really kind of did their homework when they put it together. They're like, if we can just minimize the amount of bits and pieces required, we're just going to make a much more solid truck. And that's exactly what they did. They kept it pretty simple. And it is a real pleasure to build. I love this. I love this truck. And it's like you get sort of like all the upgrades all in one. You know, you could spend a ton of money upgrading the axles and doing all of that afterwards, but with this one, it's all there, all ready to go. Francisco, I'd love to just give you a body, but I'm going to hang on to it. I do like to keep these Vanquish bodies because they're sort of special to me. What else did you want there? Still have your Cherokee Lexan body plus JK interior. Which one did I send you? I can't remember. You'll have to remind me. Was it just one of the ones from the kit? Steven, I like both the F9 and the D44. I think the D44 looks better under the JL body, like on the chassis kit that I built for the JL. I think it looks tremendously better because it's more like a Jeep axle. The F9s are certainly more of a race or comp style axle, so I think they'll look great under the LS truck that I'm building here. Okay, you know what, guys? That's basically the chassis. That's essentially it completed. There's a few more tiny details we could do. We could put the bumpers on, but again, they're not going to get used in this specific build. So there might not be much point there. What else is left? Well, wheels and tires, again, not something that's going to be on here, but and then it's basically battery tray, which I know for a fact won't get used here. The inner fenders obviously won't get used. The rails I don't think even get used. But yeah, imagine, if you will. See if I can get this to kind of fit here. It's tight. There's definitely going to be some trimming. Yes, it's finished. Just what I was hoping for. Yeah, I think that looks pretty great. Wes, when you sent me this, you said it was plug and play. So I don't know what you're on about. Yeah, that's going to require some trimming, I think. But it's going to get there. No, I know, Steven. I'm just making a joke with Wes. I know all the details are going to be required. Most of this whole front end of the VP chassis gets chopped, as the same goes for the rear. Yeah, most of that stuff isn't going to be there anymore. And in fact, the wheelbase, I think, stays pretty close to what it is actually here, because it is a wide stance truck. But in terms of transmission and everything, that should all be able to stay right where it is. There's just a lot of stuff that's going to have to be moved around. So, yeah. But there you go. That's basically the chassis built. Very, very stout. Not a lot of flex there. Wheelbase stays the same. Cheers, mate. Yeah, but pretty much all of this is going to get chopped up. Like from here forward gets lost. This gets turned sideways. Yeah, it's going to be a thing, man. It's going to be a super cool thing. Definitely. Only geometry changes is the steering, and it is so close to being the same. So there you go. That's a VS4-10 build, essentially. It's going to be so great. I'm really, 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 really excited. If you have any ideas for a motor ESC combination, by all means, throw it in the chat. I will definitely consider all choices. And yeah, I think that's pretty much going to do it. 2.5 hours. And we've got a essential chassis construction done. Aside from the shocks and wheels and tires. But everything's spinning nice and smooth. And I appreciate everybody checking in and watching. And hopefully I entertained you for most of your Sunday afternoon. Now you can enjoy the rest of the day. Get out there if it's nice. And I guess we'll see you Tuesday night, hopefully, for Lightroom Live. And then Wednesday for Live Stream Takeover, where I have to put a new graphic together. So I think I'm going to get started on that very shortly here. Thanks, guys. Thanks for checking in. I really appreciate you all watching. And we'll definitely see you on the next one. Have a lovely rest of the weekend. And, oh, well, hey, before we finish up here, let's go through people who made a donation here. Scott Oblander, Brian Sherwood, Perry G, Quack RC, Michael Swan, and RC World Shop. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a real pleasure. Have an excellent Sunday. Take care.